child, listen closely, and listen now. I am pulling back the veil on parts of your journey you never recognized as heaven's signals. I am going to bring you face to face with 7 moments when I reached for you. 7 times I called your name. 7 interruptions placed in your path to protect you, to redirect you, and to lead you safely forward. You did not tune me out because you didn't care. You missed me because you couldn't yet see what I was doing. You labeled those moments as coincidence, but they were my mercy calling out to rescue you. You were overwhelmed, distracted, exhausted, uncertain, and confused, and in the noise, you couldn't recognize my voice. But hear me, you have reached a 7th turning, one you cannot afford to ignore. That is why I am speaking with urgency right now. My beloved child, the first time I reached for you came as a quiet stirring within your heart, one you tried to reason away. You felt it clearly. A subtle nudge, a gentle pull on your spirit, an inner signal urging you to pause, to slow your steps, to look again at the direction you were taking. Something shifted inside you, a soft whisper rising that said, "Something isn't right." It was small, but it was precise. Yet you dismissed it because life felt too loud, too rushed, too demanding. You told yourself it was only pressure, only fatigue, only stress weighing on your mind. But that was me. That was my voice reaching you before trouble drew near. I saw what your eyes could not see. I knew what was forming ahead of you. I was trying to draw you aside and cover you before the storm broke, just as it is written, a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12, a voice easily missed when life gets loud. But you did not yet recognize that it was me calling you by name. If this moment feels personal, don't rush past it. Pause for a few seconds and let these words settle in your heart. Sometimes the first step toward clarity is simply choosing to stay and listen. And even after that whisper, you kept moving. So let me show you the second way I reached for you, through the delay that tested your patience. The second time I reached for you came through the delay that tested your patience. A door you were ready to enter closed without warning. A plan you were hopeful about unraveled. What you had been reaching for slipped away, leaving disappointment, confusion, even quiet pain in its place. You questioned why it failed, why the timing collapsed, why nothing moved the way you expected. You believed that delay meant punishment. But it was not rejection, it was protection. I stopped that path because I knew it would have crushed your spirit. I removed that opportunity because it would have slowly drained the life from you. What felt like loss was actually mercy at work. You saw rejection, but I saw rescue. I was preventing you from stepping into something that would have harmed you long before you realized it. Yet because you could not see what lay ahead, you assumed the delay was an error instead of a signal from heaven. You thought something went wrong, but in truth, I was intervening, holding you back until the danger passed and the right way could be revealed. The third time I reached for you came through a dream you did not hold on to, a dream that disturbed your peace, a dream that carried weight, that stirred something deep inside you. You woke with your heart racing, sensing it mattered, sensing it was more than imagination, yet you set it aside and moved on. You filled your mind with noise and told yourself it meant nothing. But that dream was my way of revealing the spiritual atmosphere around you, uncovering what your natural eyes could not perceive. It was the one moment when your soul was still enough to hear me clearly. As it is written, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people, he may speak to them. Job 33:15-16. Yet you rose, rushed back into routine, and the message slowly slipped from your memory. That dream was my voice wrapped in symbols, a warning shaped in mercy, reaching ahead of time to guard you from what was approaching. I was calling you before the danger drew near, urging your spirit to awaken before the moment passed. And when you let that warning slip, I did not stop reaching, so the fourth time I intervened. A relationship was removed from your life, someone you believed you needed, someone you imagined would walk with you into the future, someone who felt familiar, comforting, even energizing to your emotions. You held tightly to them, not realizing that little by little your spirit was growing weaker in their presence. You wanted them to stay, but they were not aligned with where I was leading you. Without noticing, their influence was pulling your heart away from me, shifting your focus, dulling your discernment. I could not allow that to continue. So I stepped in and separated you, not to wound you, but to preserve you. You wept, you questioned, you searched for answers, wondering why the bond broke so suddenly and without warning. But listen to me, my child, that separation was not loss, it was intervention. I removed what would have slowly undone you. What felt like rejection was actually protection. As it is written, the Lord protects those who are His. Nahum 1-7. You believed something precious was taken from you, but in truth, you were being rescued before the damage could reach your soul. The fifth time I reached for you came through the heartbreak that left you undone, the moment when it felt as though everything within you was giving way at once. The pain sank deeper than words could carry, heavier than you could hold on your own. That breaking was not me harming you. It was life loosening what was never meant to remain. I allowed the pain because sometimes pain is the only sound strong enough to turn a wandering heart back toward me. And in that breaking, you reached for me with a truth you had never dared to offer before. I was calling you through your tears, through your grief, through the tight ache in your chest that would not release. While everything else around you fell apart, I was drawing you nearer, not pushing you away. As it is written, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34-18. That heartbreak was not abandonment, it was an opening. An invitation to discover healing where you least expected it, and to find strength where you thought only loss remained. The sixth time I reached for you came through the heaviness that settled over you, without warning, a deep pressure you could not explain. It weighed on your spirit, leaving you with the sense that something was off, even though you couldn't name it. That heaviness was not weakness, it was a signal. Your spirit was discerning a rising conflict, a tightening resistance, a shift you felt before your thoughts could catch up. I was alerting you before the moment intensified. I drew near and whispered to you, "Come closer, stay watchful, listen, for it is written, be alert and of sober mind." 1 Peter 5-8. Yet the pull of daily demands kept tugging at your attention, and the warning went unrecognized. You didn't realize that the weight you felt was my call to shelter, to move nearer, to remain attentive, to stay within the covering prepared for you. The seventh time I reached for you came as a whisper you set aside because the world around you was too loud. A quiet voice urging, "Turn back to me now. You cannot keep going this way." It was tender, not forceful, but you postponed it. You told yourself you would listen later, slow down later, return later. Yet later kept slipping away. You did not push me aside in defiance. You were overwhelmed. You were hurting. You did not walk away with intention. You were weary, uncertain, burdened, and trying to hold yourself together. But hear me, my child. This seventh call carried a weight unlike the others. It was the moment before silence had to give way to clarity. Not because my love grew impatient, but because hesitation, distraction, and misunderstanding had dulled what needed to be heard. I am speaking now with urgency because the path ahead cannot be navigated without my guidance. What approaches is not avoided by strength alone, but by attention, surrender, and trust. This is why my voice presses closer now, so you will not face what lies ahead without direction, without covering, without me. Because your destiny is too precious to gamble away, your heart too dear to me, your soul too valuable for silence. You believed those moments were coincidences, but every interruption, every delay, every loss, every warning was my voice hidden within your days, reaching out to keep you safe. Now the veil is lifted. This message is no longer concealed, it is clear and urgent. Listen to me. This is your awakening, your turning point. I will not allow you to step into what is coming unprepared. Be still and let me speak within you. Because this moment carries a weight heaven has been waiting to release. I am speaking because you are approaching a critical hour, one that cannot be handled by strength alone or navigated by human wisdom. I do not speak to frighten you. Fear is not my language. I speak to ready you, to realign you, to guard you before the storm touches your life. You have felt the pressure rising, the weariness sleep could not heal, the confusion stealing your peace. These were not random sensations, they were signals. I see the patterns that lead to traps, and I see how the enemy looks for openings. When you move without my guidance, you leave the covering meant to keep you safe. That is why I speak plainly now, so your spirit cannot deny it heard me. This season demands full attention, full awareness, full closeness. I am not angry, I am protective. I am not condemning, I am reaching to save you. You are mine. I will not let you walk into darkness unaware. This urgency is mercy in motion. Spiritual warnings are gifts sent to spare you. As it is written, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood," Ephesians 6:12. And the next steps you take carry weight beyond what your eyes can see. If you turn away again, you will miss a moment meant to shield you, not because I would abandon you, but because you would step into consequences I was trying to block. The enemy looks for patterns, especially where you are worn down and vulnerable. He knows where you are worn down, where emptiness lingers, where doubt creeps in. He studies the voices that influence you, the temptations that still whisper, the wounds that have not fully closed. From all of this, he is shaping a plan aimed at your most fragile places. But I am uncovering his strategy before it unfolds. I am revealing the danger before it reaches you. I am sounding the warning before harm finds an opening. If you refuse to listen now, you will walk straight into what I was trying to spare you from. You have been drifting, not because you wanted to leave me, but because life scattered your focus in too many directions at once. You have been overwhelmed, not from weakness, but because your spirit has been carrying battles too heavy for one heart. You have felt numb, not from indifference, but from surviving too long without rest. And a drifting heart cannot sense danger. A tired spirit cannot discern an approaching threat. A numb soul struggles to hear warning signs. That is why a whisper is no longer enough. That is why my urgency has intensified. That is why my presence feels stronger now. You are standing at a turning point, a spiritual threshold. What follows depends on whether you listen or delay. Two paths lie before you. One leads to clarity, protection, and covering. The other to confusion, regret, and unnecessary pain. I am not warning you because I expect you to fail. I warn you because I see clearly what is forming. Understand this, every warning I give is wrapped in love. Every hard word carries tenderness within it. I expose danger because I care. I speak urgently because I refuse to lose you. My correction is not rejection, it is rescue. My raised voice is not anger, it is protection. My urgency is not punishment, it is love pressing forward to guard you. You belong to me. I will not allow you to walk into darkness unaware. I will not watch you fall into a trap without reaching out to stop you. I will not give up on you, even when you feel like giving up on yourself. If you listen now, you will not face what's coming alone, and you will not be without covering. This is the crossroads. This is the moment before the shift. I am ready to guide you safely through what is coming, but you must understand what is forming around you. Not something visible to the eye, but something building quietly, layer by layer, waiting for a moment of vulnerability. I do not speak to frighten you, but to awaken you. This is not a passing disturbance. It can feel targeted, pressing on old wounds, testing weak places, trying to pull you off course. You have already sensed pieces of it, the sudden heaviness, emotional instability, confusion that arrives without warning, the drain that leaves you questioning your worth. These are not signs of collapse, they are signs of conflict. You are not falling apart, you are being targeted. Temptation has increased, not only toward old habits, but toward giving up, isolating, settling for less, silencing your voice. Temptation intensifies when destiny draws near. The enemy offers counterfeit comfort to pull you away from the healing I am preparing. He places familiar patterns in front of you, hoping you will turn back instead of rise. He sends people who appear gentle but carry hidden danger, those who excite your emotions but weaken your spirit, who feed your wounds instead of your growth. Not everyone who approaches you in this season is sent to help you. Some come to drain, delay, distract, or deceive. Subtle traps form through thoughts that sound harmless thoughts like, "I'm just tired, I'm just overwhelmed, I just need a break." But beneath those feelings, a net can tighten meant to pull you into discouragement, anxiety, and numbness. Lies slip in quietly, sounding like your own voice whispering, "You're not enough. Nothing will change. You're alone. You're behind." These thoughts were planted slowly, hoping you would accept them as truth. But hear me, those voices are not mine. They rise from darkness trying to cloud your vision. The enemy knows your patterns. He waits for exhaustion, isolation, distraction. That is why I did not wait. That is why I could not whisper. I had to speak now. If you ignore this moment, you will step into something designed to steal your peace and your future. You are not being warned because you are weak. You are being warned because you are chosen. What heaven marks, opposition notices. But you are not unprotected. I am stepping between you and what is forming. I am exposing the storm before it overtakes you, shining light so it loses its power. The danger is real, but so is my protection. The attack is rising, but so is your breakthrough. Stay close to me, trust me, and whatever comes, you will not face it without my strength and my covering. If you are willing to listen now, draw closer to my voice. There is something tender within you. I must touch not your physical heart, but the heart that feels deeply. The heart that keeps moving, even when it is exhausted. The heart that has been crying out in silence while your lips stayed still. I need you to receive these words with softness, not shame, with openness, not fear. Everything I uncover is carried by love. Everything I speak is meant to restore, not to wound. Everything I reach is meant to heal, not to judge. My beloved child, you are emotionally worn down. You have carried far more than you were meant to for far too long, with far too little rest. Burdens were placed on you that you never chose. Responsibilities pressed on you that you never asked for. Battles surrounded you that you were never meant to fight alone. You wake tired, move through your days tired, and rest without finding peace. You keep pushing, telling yourself to be strong, even while something inside you feels like it is slowly unraveling. I have seen every forced smile, every moment you held yourself together while your heart trembled. I have seen the tears you swallowed because you lacked the strength to explain your emptiness. You are exhausted, and you have not given yourself permission to admit it. A quiet numbness has settled in a heavy stillness you tried to ignore. Joy feels distant. Peace fades quickly. Hope feels fragile. Even what once stirred your heart now feels muted and dull. You told yourself you were fine so you would not burden anyone. But the truth is, your spirit is drained. You have lived in survival for so long that you forgot what it means to rest from a place of peace. Your numbness is not failure, it is fatigue. It is your soul shielding itself from too much pain at once. But I did not create you to remain numb. I desire you whole. Inside you, confusion has been growing questions without answers. Tension between who you were and who you are becoming. Conflict between desire and fear, between past and future. Your thoughts have been loud and unsettled, making it hard to recognize my voice. This confusion did not come from me. It came from pressure in the unseen realm. And because your heart is tired, your discernment has weakened. Clarity cannot rest in an overwhelmed heart. You delayed obedience not out of rebellion, but out of fear, uncertainty, and exhaustion. I whispered, and you hesitated. I nudged, and you held on longer than you should have. I invited you forward, and fear told you to wait. You kept saying, later, until later slipped away. You did not ignore me because you were defiant. You ignored me because you were wounded, because life was loud, and my voice felt gentle. But hear me now, Delayed obedience is delayed protection. You have not run from me intentionally, but emotionally. Stillness felt uncomfortable. Slowing down felt unsettling. Quiet moments exposed pain you were not ready to face, so you stayed busy. Yet running only postpones the healing I am offering you. You are not weak. You are tired. Tired of unseen battles. Tired of carrying everyone else. Tired of questioning your worth. Tired of feeling disconnected. Tired of praying and feeling nothing. Your heart became overwhelmed, and your discernment dimmed. You have been surviving, not thriving, hurting quietly, hoping softly, believing faintly. But my child, listen now. I am not angry with you, I am reaching to save you. I am not disappointed, I am drawing you closer. I am not condemning, I am lifting you up. I do not judge your weariness, I meet it with mercy. When a heart is overwhelmed, whispers cannot be heard. And that is why my voice has grown clearer, never from frustration, always from love. I saw you sinking, and I moved to steady you. I saw numbness settling in, and I came to awaken you. I saw confusion clouding your thoughts, and I came to bring light. I saw exhaustion pressing hard, and I came to renew your strength. I saw danger nearing, and I stepped in to shield you. You are mine. Because you belong to me, I will not watch you fall apart in silence or drift while harm draws near. I intervene before destruction takes hold. This is who I am as your Savior, as your Father. I am here touching deep wounds, lifting heavy burdens, calming restless fears, quieting chaotic thoughts, and stirring your spirit back to life. You may feel tired, but you are not abandoned. You may feel numb, but you are not forgotten. You may feel lost, but you are being led. As it is written, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. I am here not to scold, but to restore, not to expose, but to heal, not to leave you where you are, but to raise you up. This is your moment of rescue, and I am not letting you go. My beloved child, draw near now, because I am reaching into the places you have kept hidden for years, the wounds you covered with strength, the pain you carried in silence, the parts of you that felt too fragile to reveal. I do not bring these places into the light to shame you, but to heal you, not to expose you, but to free you. You carried these wounds quietly, believing they were small, manageable, or that time alone would erase them. But hear the truth. Some wounds you thought were healed still speak in the quiet of the night. Beneath the surface, you felt abandonment in ways you could not always explain, moments when you reached out and no one answered, when you cried and were met with silence. You learned to stop expecting others to stay, to carry everything alone, to survive without leaning on anyone. And that absence left a mark, whispering lies that said you were alone, unseen, not worth the effort. Those whispers are not truth. I saw every moment you felt left behind. I was present in the emptiness when others walked away, and I never left you, not for a single breath. You felt unheard, your words dismissed, your needs minimized, so you learned to hide your feelings and call it strength. Yet inside, your heart has been crying out for someone who would truly listen and understand. I have heard every unspoken word, every prayer whispered through tears, every thought you were afraid to voice. As it is written, the Lord is near to all who call on him. Psalm 145:18. I have missed none of your cries. You also carry guilt for what you did and did not do, for choices made and chances lost. But guilt is a chain you were never meant to wear. I forgave you long before you knew how to ask. Your past does not define you. You are redeemed. Let go of the guilt it was never yours to carry. If these words spoke to your heart, respond in the quiet of this moment. You don't need many words, just acknowledge that you are listening. Let this be the beginning of healing and the start of coming home.